Hello there, Universal. Would you mind if I use footage from Hop 2011 in my video without you copyright claiming said video?
Now back to the show.
Easter. It is a time of year in which a rabbit that can stand on its hind legs leaves some chocolate eggs for the children. They made a movie about it and it's called Hop. You know, unlike Christmas and Halloween, where there are countless movies for each holiday, the same can't really be said for Easter. This might be the only notable Easter movie that exists at the moment, at least as far as I am aware. Hop is a 2011 live-action animated hybrid film created by Illumination, and it was only their second ever movie under their belt, with Despicable Me being their first. It was directed by Tim Hill, you know, the guy most well known for writing 18 episodes of SpongeBob during the show's first season and fourth season. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. I remember going to see it in the cinema when it came out, and I liked it a lot. I even drew some of the characters from the film during my free time at school, and I remember being so proud of those drawings that I showed them to my friends and schoolmates.
Painted it myself.
Now it is worth pointing out that I haven't seen the film in full since that fateful day in the cinema, and I heard how bad it actually is from other people, even being considered one of the worst films Illumination has ever made, which is saying a lot. So for this video, I'll rewatch the film and see if it really is as bad as people say it is. Yep, it's bad, alright. I made it this far, so I might as well review it. So let's hop, God I hate myself, into this movie. Hold on, I just got a text from a friend of mine saying I should watch the latest Nintendo Direct about the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's see. Wow, it's incredible! I'm really looking forward to Mario Kart World in particular. There's going to be 24 drivers per race, an open world option, and your vehicle can grind on rails. Fishbone is going to be in it. I'm also excited to try out Kirby Air Riders and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Man, it's gonna feel so great when I finally get my hands on this console. Okay, fine. I've put it off long enough. Let's actually look at Hop now. The film is about a rabbit by the name of E.B. who is living with his dad on Easter Island. Because of course they live there. He is supposed to succeed his father as the Easter Bunny. Let me just remind you that the character's name is called E.B., which are literally the initials to Easter and Bunny. Get it? Like E.B., Easter, Bunny? You know, it's that kind of subtlety that you don't get in a Christopher Nolan film. The problem is that E.B. doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny. Instead, he wants to make it as a drummer. However, E.B.'s dad doesn't like the sound of that and insists that he will become the Easter Bunny, whether he likes it or not.
You are going to be the Easter Bunny. You need to get it together, get rid of these drums, and get your priorities straight.
E.B. decides to escape and try his luck in LA. Determined, his father calls upon his royal guards called the Pink Berets to get him back. What's interesting about this whole ordeal is that you have a guy who doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny, but has to because he comes from a royal line of Easter Bunnies, therefore making him the only heir to the mantle. And then you have E.B.'s dad's second in command, Carlos, who is a chick and is someone who desperately wants to take over, but isn't allowed because he's not a rabbit. One guy has no interest in Easter, while the other guy is passionate about it. One guy has virtually no qualifications, while the other guy is the most qualified. So why would E.B.'s dad laugh over the idea of a chick taking over? I'll get back to that later. Also, for some reason the Pink Berets don't speak. I wish I had an answer for why that's the case. My guess is that they ran out of money because Hugh Laurie, who voices E.B.'s dad, Probably cost every crew member's left kidney to hire him. Meanwhile, James Marsden is struggling to find a job that is right for him, which results in his parents kicking him out of the house.
What are you nodding for?
By the way, James Marsden's character is called Fred O'Hare. Get it? O'Hare? I mean, don't be stupid, movie. There are no hares in this film. Only rabbits. You know, it's the kind of irony that you don't get in a Quentin Tarantino film. Also, I'm not calling him Fred O'Hare. I'm gonna call him by his real name, James Marsden, for the rest of the video. His sister, Sam, offers him a house he can stay in temporarily, as well as a job interview at a place she works at. While driving, he hits EB, who was struggling to find work in LA, and James Marsden allows EB to stay with him, upon realising that he is related to the Easter Bunny. I might as well bring this up now, but the CGI for the non-human characters isn't actually that bad. Believe me when I say that there are far worse examples to choose from. Garfield. The designs for the characters are fine, if not a bit generic. The bunnies look cute, I guess, but then again, I love all animals, especially this one. I think the movie is at its worst visually whenever we're inside the factory or in any place that isn't real life. I'm bringing this up now because I think it's so funny seeing EB in the presence of James Marsden, considering that 9 years later, James Marsden ends up sharing a scene with another CG animal character called Sonic. And with James Marsden reprising his role as Cyclops in Avengers Doomsday, then it wouldn't surprise me if we see him hanging out with Rocket Raccoon. Anyway, while waiting for James Marsden in his car to finish his interview, EB sees the pink berets and follows James Marsden inside to lose them. This results in James Marsden failing his job interview, as he was too busy trying to stop EB from exposing himself as a talking rabbit in front of other people. This is weird because not long after, we see both James Marsden and EB at a diner, talking, and the waitress doesn't seem to care that EB can talk. Or maybe she was high the entire time. So basically James Marsden ruined his chances of getting a job for nothing.
Wind in your hair, hot babe on your arm. That's a car ad. Oh, we should buy that car then.
EB finds an ad for a talent show hosted by David Hasselhoff and decides to go to the audition. But before that, we have to sit through the pretend to be a toy trope when Sam comes by to visit James Marsden.
He's so soft and cute and...
Who voices EB in this film? Russell Brand? Well, I guess it all makes sense now.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Anyway, the audition goes well, as EB qualifies for the show. Later that night, James Marsden's adopted sister Alex is in an Easter-themed play and watches it. However, EB unintentionally upstages her, as he tries to escape from what he thought were the pink berets. To be honest, EB, if you were to look closely at those shadows, you can clearly see that they are just kids wearing bunny suits and not CGI rabbits. Also, the shadow shot was ripped off from the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid film, where Greg and Rowley thought they saw a devil worshipper, but it turns out to be Fregley in a unicorn costume. How dare Hop steal from one of the best scenes in the history of cinema? So because of EB's shenanigans, James Marsden is forced to pretend that EB is a ventriloquist dummy and starts singing I Want Candy. I don't really have it in my heart to be angry here. The feeling is more like...
Hey, no, hey,
Stop.
come on, let go of him.
Niall.
Let go
Bad
of him.
optics, man, bad optics.
Hello, he was insulting me. No, he wasn't, he really wasn't.
Just kidding, it was anger. Alex, unsurprisingly, hates James Marsden for this, but watching the play allowed James Marsden to come up with a brilliant idea. Become the Easter Bunny. James? Are you on crack? EB agrees to train James Marsden on becoming the Easter Bunny, and discovers that he's actually pretty good. Meanwhile, Carlos is also training hard for the role. Oh yeah, I feel like I should have mentioned this earlier, but Carlos is voiced by Hank Azaria, who does the same stereotypical Hispanic accent as he did for Bumblebee Man in The Simpsons.
What? Oh, my new earmuffs? Oh, it's a cold spring this year, you know.
Muchas gracias, amigos, por todas las memorias. Y super gracias a Goya.
He also plays Gargamel in the live-action Smurfs film, which came out the same year as Hop. Carlos, like Gargamel, is the best character in the entire film. I might be a bit biased here because Hank Azaria is one of my favourite voice actors around at the moment. It's kinda sad knowing that he put his heart and soul into both films, carrying them on his back, trying to make them work, but it was futile. You simply can't accuse him of phoning it in, even if this film isn't his best work. Oh, grunt. Honestly, I'm really tired, so I'll just speedrun through the climax. James Marsden gets taken back to Easter Island by the Pink Berets after they assumed he killed EB. Carlos overthrows EB's dad as the Easter Bunny and wants to give children bird food and worms instead of chocolate eggs. He plans on killing James Marsden and EB's dad, but is thwarted by EB after he decides not to participate in the talent show in order to save Easter. He manages to take down Carlos, who now tells people to watch out for carbon monoxide in their house for a living. EB becomes the co-Easter Bunny alongside James Marsden. The end. Wait, how come James Marsden is allowed to be an Easter Bunny? I don't know if you can tell EB's dad, but James Marsden looks really human to me. I thought only rabbits could become Easter Bunnies. Remember earlier in the video when I asked why EB's dad would laugh at the idea of a chick taking over? Well, I have a theory. EB's dad is a racist. Why else would he not give the Hispanic chick the role, despite being more than capable for the job, and instead give it to a white human? I know he tried to have EB's dad and James Marsden killed, and fair enough, that's bad. But that only happened because of how unfair the system is. Carlos tries to be reasonable, but EB's dad keeps shooting him down. Also, the idea that Carlos wanted to give children bird food instead of chocolate is weird, considering he had no problem with children eating chocolate at all. It felt like the writers added that into the story at the 11th hour, because they needed a reason for people to hate Carlos. I mean, who cares? I'm just glad the movie's over now. On a budget of $63 million, it managed to gross over $180 million. A decent return for sure, but it was nowhere near as successful as Despicable Me. With that in mind, along with the movie's poor reception, it probably explains why Illumination decided to no longer make live-action animated hybrid films and stick purely to animation. Like I said at the start of the video, I do not like this movie, not one bit. I even watched all of Illumination's films. Every single one, for the sake of this video, just to see how they compare to Hop.
I am in a world of shit.
Out of all 15 films in their collection so far, I do think Minions might just be the worst, but Hop is pretty close. I find Minions to be annoying and more unbearable to watch, but Hop is more offensive to me. So yeah, in conclusion, while it may not be the worst film Illumination has ever made, it is still a terrible film. But the movie has David Hasselhoff off his rocker in it, so the movie automatically gets a 10 out of 10.
You're not surprised I'm a talking rabbit.
Little man, my best friend's a talking car.
One thing this film does exceptionally well is that it makes me want to eat Easter eggs so badly, so I'll just go and do that now. I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, my tummy hurts so much.